query?
Transformation of data.
Transformation of data. Good. Okay. So it cleans our data. It transforms our data. So why we need data cleaning, data cleansing? So we need a clean data to create our reports more dynamically. So our data is clean, then we can view in different dimensions. Okay. So that was the expectation. Now, what was other component? Power pivot, where power pivot allows us to maintain data models. And I have already told you what is a data model. Data model describes about characteristics of our data. So our data is not a single cell value. Whenever we talk about data, the entire record which is available as part of data, entire record. Let's suppose last time we have seen, I'm sharing my screen, guys. Last time we have seen, in the last session, we have seen the example of sale information of a retail store, right? So let me know once you're able to see my screen. So this particular sheet containing 8 rows of data with a header at the top. And whenever I say data, it is not a single cell value, something like serial number 1 or pen alone, it's not the data. So data collectively, the entire information which is available in a single row, it talks about data. Now, what are the characteristics of this data, guys? Tell me what this data is describing. By looking at this data, what we can tell? We can tell this record describing sale information of a product. And what are the characteristics? Then we can say the product name is pen, and this sale transaction happened on this particular date, and the quantity was this much, and unit price was this much, and total sale of that particular product is this much. Clear, guys? Data model describes the characteristics of our data, and whenever I say characteristics, then we have to look at the attributes of the data. And remember, whenever we say data, data is not a single cell value. If you pick one entire record from your data model, that particular entire record will tell us some information, that gives us some information. And by going through each attribute of that particular row data, we can understand what kind of data that is. So here so far we dealt with only single source of data. Single source of data in the sense we have imported data from a single file here in our case. Okay. So in real time scenarios, in real time projects, we'll be dealing with multiple sources of data which are related, which are interrelated. Okay. How can we say interrelated? Now suppose if you are maintaining a retail store, what all are the possible transactions that we have, guys? Tell me. If you are having a retail store, what all are the possible transactions that are possible in a retail store? We used to purchase material from outside, from bulk from the suppliers, and we'll maintain stock in our store, and and we will perform sale transactions. Guys, these are the possible transaction in a retail store. True or not? High level. High level in the sense we'll purchase material which are needed for our customers in bulk. Let's suppose in my retail store I'm selling sugar and rice. Then I'll purchase sugar and rice in bulk directly from the farmers, and I'll be maintaining stock with me in my store. And when customer comes in, and he'll purchase in small quantities like 5 kg, 10 kg, like one packet of rice, like that. Okay. Now, whatever data model that we have created here, it is talking about only sales information. Here I'll fill these values. So here the data which we have modeled here is talking about only sales information of my retail store. And being a owner of retail store, it is my responsibility to maintain purchase information as well for the same products. True or not, guys?
Yes.
Guys, following this use case, we will be having sale and purchase transactions happening on the same product set, because whichever products that I'll purchase, the same products I'll be selling in my store. So what I'll do, let's suppose if I create one more table this way, I'll simply say purchase date, and quantities I'll mention in bulk quantities, 500, 2500, and this one is 1000, 1500, 2500, 2000, 7500. So these are my purchase quantities, and these are my sale quantities, and I am allowed to import both sale data and purchase data in my Power BI desktop. If I do so, how many data models I'm importing, guys? If I do so, if I take out this table separately into a new file or to a new sheet, instead of a new file, to a new sheet saying purchases, and this sheet I'll call as sales. See guys, sales and purchases. Now tell me guys, what is the common element between sales and purchases here? What is the common element between sales and purchases?
Product.
Product.
Product, perfect. Product is a common element, I mean common attribute which through which I can correlate my data. So I can say I'm having pens, for pens I'm having this much of amount spent on purchases, and the amount that I sold so far is this much. And if I deduct these quantities like 3000, and 3000 is my quantity, whole quantity so far I have purchased. Out of 3000, if I deduct 75, so whichever value that comes, 2925, that will become my current stock. True or not, guys? That will become my stock, existing stock in my store. Okay. So let's try to import this data, guys. Let's try to import this data and see. You'll understand. I'll take a new report here instead of existing one. I'm taking a new report. So guys, if I do not tell you, like communicate with you over a WhatsApp group explicitly saying we do not have a class today, then it is okay. I mean, we will not be having any session that particular day. But if I do not mention anything, then we will be having our session at 6 p.m. regularly. Remember that. I see like people are having some miscommunication around this. So what is the first step, guys? What is the first step to create a report?
Extracted data.
Extracted data. Correct. So guys, extract the data can be achieved through get data source option, or you can directly go to transform data screen where it will open Power Query Editor. In Power Query Editor, we are given with this option as well, selecting a source. Now what I'll do, I'm going here. So I'm just, before going there, I'm just checking my data view and model view to make sure no existing data available. I'll let this some time. What is inside, guys?
Meaningful information.
Meaningful information. Yes. Meantime, give me a moment. So what is this window, guys? This is my new Power BI desktop, and this is my new report. So the existing report I have to discard. I'll close that one. So I'm discarding this report, which is already loaded with the data. Which component is responsible for loading, guys? Loading data in Power BI desktop. Which component is responsible for loading data?
Power query.
Power query. Perfect. It's taking more than expected. Taking more than expected. So guys, I have uploaded all the videos which we have discussed so far. I hope everyone is aware of that, and I hope everyone is aware like how to access our content. But guys, meantime, this gets closed. I'll show that part. So whoever newly got access to our Google Drive, so guys, we'll be having a folder with the name Data Analytics. Inside that, we'll be having two folders. One is SQL and another one is for Power BI. Inside Power BI, we'll be having Day5 folders. It is getting refreshed. So like this, guys. So I'm just giving example of day 4 folder. So inside day 4 folder, we'll be having if we have created any paint image explaining concept, then that will be uploaded here. And if you have used any data source, then we will be using that particular file. We'll be uploading that particular file to this place as well. And the video link is given as a text file. Inside text file, we'll be having that particular video link. By using that video link, you can access that video on YouTube. Okay. Due to the space issue, we are not directly uploading video to this place, to this folder. Okay. Good. Okay, I'm coming back here. So this is my blank Power BI report. So which do not contain any previously imported data. So if I go to data view, I'll be seeing empty data over there. And whatever file see here, there are no fields information getting shown at the right side of the data center data section. And if I go to model view, I'll be having empty view. I'll not be having any loaded entity view along with attributes. So some sample image is there directly, template kind of thing. And my report view, which is Power View, is empty. So whichever file I have created here, sales and purchases. So this particular file I'm saving in my drive in the sense like on my local machine. After saving this file, I'll try to upload this file using transform data option. So why I'm choosing transform data option? The reason is whenever I choose transform data option, which particular window will be opened, guys? What is the name of that window?
Power Query Editor.
Power Query Editor. Perfect. So Power Query Editor is the name of the window. So in that window, we are allowed to select the data source. Okay. We are allowed to select the data source. And if we do not use Power Query Editor directly, we can use get data source option. That will open which window, guys? If I choose get data source option,
Navigator window.
navigator
Excel.
window, navigator window. Similar way, if I choose transform data option and I choose transform data option inside this menu item, let's see what it opens. It opens Power Query Editor window. In Power Query Editor window, we will be having similar kind of operations. So transform data, this Power Query Editor window is mainly meant for which root, I mean which particular activity, guys?
Transformations.
From data.
Transformation of data.
Transformation. The main purpose is for transformations. Okay, see, empty, I'm seeing empty view here. We're seeing empty view here. Okay, so if you look this place, what is this option, guys? New
Source.
new source. Go to new source and it allows us to select the same data sources which it is allowing in the main screen. So here, what is our source, guys? SQL Server or Excel file?
Excel workbook.
Yeah, Excel.
No.
Excel file.
Good. So how many sheets my Excel data containing right now?
Two.
Single sheet, sir.
No, multi sheets now.
Two.
Sales and purchases. Okay. Good. Now go there, choose new source option. Through new source option, select Excel workbook. It will open a window. So where you are allowed to select that particular cell entities file. So what is the date modified time? It is like, okay, it is not
21.
yet saved. It is not yet saved. I'm saving this. If I save this, it is 23:3, like 8:30, 6:30. 18:30 is nothing but 6:30. So I'm opening this. As soon as I open this file, extraction will happen and extracted data will be shown here for transformation purpose. After that, see here, guys, the same navigator window we are seeing. Extraction is happening. Now how many sheets data it is showing, guys?
Two, sir.
Two sheets.
So I'm just selecting first sheet. I'm seeing data. Okay, 7 rows of sale data is there. Purchase data is there. I'm selecting second sheet as well, sales. So I'm seeing all 7 entries. If I select respective sheet, then I'll be able to see respective data extracted and shown here in the navigator window. And see, guys, earlier when we try to import source from the main Power BI desktop option, what are the options that we are seeing here at this place? What are the
Load
actions?
and transform.
Load and
Load and
transformation.
transform.
Load and transform. But why we are not seeing here?
Do you have directly using transform, sir?
Okay, correct. We are directly importing this data using Power Query Editor itself. When I choose transform option from navigator window, when I open from Power BI desktop, that time it will take me to Power Query Editor. But in the Power Query Editor itself, through Power Query Editor itself, I am trying to open my data files. That's why no transform option is getting displayed here, because as soon as I click on OK, it will open data for the transformation. I've selected OK and see what happens. Okay, 3 days old, no problem. See, guys, here, carefully observe. Earlier we were having 0 queries as 0 here. Now how many sheets we are seeing? How many entries seeing? How many entries were
Two.
listed here? 2.
Two.
What?
Two.
Those 2 are nothing but individual sheets of our Excel file which is imported here. Okay. Now if I select that respective sheet, then it is displaying me the respective sheet data. So which sheet I have selected right now, guys?
Purchases.
Purchase.
Yeah, purchasing. Now if I select second sheet, sale
Sales.
related data. When I select purchases sheet, it is showing a purchase related data, and the right side properties, applied steps, all these are related to this particular purchases sheet. Remember that. Query is here. I mean, we Power Query editor queried extracted data from this imported file by querying. So this is one query from purchases. It has queried and extracted the data this way, and right side section is query settings. And I have already told you, we'll be having sequence of steps that are applied on top of our data when loaded. So first step is source. It is displaying us some code, some macro kind of code saying I have loaded data through this particular file. That is first step. Second step is navigation. So it has loaded or extracted our data, but it hasn't identified which row is header and which is data part. So that's why it has identified 6 columns out there. See guys, at the left side bottom, there is some text printed. What it is saying guys? Left side bottom. Able to see guys here?
Yes, sir.
What it is?
Six
Column.
column
Six
and row.
columns and
Six
8 rows.
columns.
It is saying 6 columns and 8 rows. Okay. Sorry guys. 6 columns and 8 rows. So my purchases sheet containing 6 columns and 8 rows of data. Okay. Next, headers got promoted. So now see guys, at step 3, what is the row count?
7, sir.
Column 7 rows.
Row count 7. Columns remain 6, but row count is 7. What happened? My header is not treated as data row.
Serial number తీసేసే సార్
Yeah.
ఇప్పుడు.
So in the navigation step, at the navigation step, Power Query Editor treated my sheet header as also as one of the data row. That's why it was saying 8 rows of data. But after that, in the next step, promoted header step, as soon as I move on to promoted header step, what is saying? 7 rows only. Because Power Query Editor at this step, after applying this step, it is able to understand that this particular row is header row, not the data row. So actual data rows count is only 7. That's why it is saying 7. So guys, I'm making you people familiar with the Power Query Editor, what to check, where to check and what to check. Okay. And I'm going to change type. See here guys. Notice here, at the beginning of your column name, after promoted headers, at the beginning of your column name, what are the things that you are seeing?
Alphabets and numerics.
Alphabets and numerics. It's saying alphanumeric. At this particular step, our Power Query Editor window identified each column data as alphanumeric one. It is not clear, saying serial number column contains only numerics, and purchase date column contains only dates, and product column contains only text information, and quantity contains only numerics. And same is case with unit price and total price. It hasn't identified that, because at this step, what is the action that carried out guys by Power Query Editor? Yes, at this step, what is the action carried out by Power Query Editor? The action carried out is promoting your header row. That's all. Promoting your header row. Now go to change type. See guys, notice this. ABC 1 2 3. What happens to them if I go to change type? As soon as I move on to next step, what happened guys? What is the icon I'm seeing here before serial number column?
Superscript as is shown.
Only 1 2 3. Before serial number, I'm seeing only 1 2 3. Before purchase date, I'm seeing a calendar symbol, which means date information. Before product, what I'm seeing guys? ABC. Only ABC.
ABD 1.
ABC. Before quantity, I'm seeing again 1 2 3. For unit price 1 2 3. For total price 1 2 3. What happened? At this
How
step,
change the type, sir?
at this step, Power Query Editor scanned our column and rows data and identified what kind of data available in each of the column of your purchases query. Guys, clear so far?
Clear, sir.
Yeah.
Everyone clear?
Yes.
Yes.
See guys.
Suman, can you please repeat once again this change time?
Okay. Okay. So I hope everyone is clear like how to import a source file using Power Query Editor. As soon as we complete our import option, we will be able to see for each of the query, these are the default actions, steps carried out by Power Query Editor. Default steps as soon
Yes.
as we import our data. So we are visiting each of the step. So the beginning step is nothing but see, as soon as I select any of the query at the left side, the right side things that I'm able to see and the labels which I'm seeing at the taskbar, everything is related to our purchases query, whichever sheet I select. So right side under query settings, I'm visiting each and every step. First, I went to source step. As soon as I select source step, what it's saying, your data is loaded through this source D folder. Inside D folder there is a Power BI folder. Inside that we are having Day4 folder, and inside that we are having sale entries. Okay, using that folder, sorry, using that particular source file, this data is loaded. Clear guys?
Yes.
This is formula window guys. This is formula window. We'll come to that later at the end of the session. And next
So
step
one
I'm
doubt,
yeah, tell me.
one doubt, sir. నాకు
Mm.
సార్ ఇప్పుడు హిడెన్ అని ఫాల్స్ ఇచ్చింది కదా సార్, మన షీట్ లో అప్లోడ్ చేసినప్పుడు ట్రూ ట్రూ రావాలి కదా సార్ మనీ.
Ekkada? Where?
ఇక్కడ మీరు హిడెన్ అని ఉంది సార్ లాస్ట్ లో,
Here?
ఫాల్స్ అని
So where? Here?
Header.
హిడెన్ సార్ లాస్ట్ లో. అవును సరే సార్,
Yeah.
అది
Yeah.
ఫాల్స్ వచ్చింది కదా సార్. ఇది మనకి డేటా ట్రూ ఉంది కాబట్టి షీట్ ట్రూ అవ్వాలి కదా సార్ మనకి.
Hidden, no. See, hidden false nothing but what? See, if I ask you, it's a negative question kind of thing. Hidden, false. What does it mean? It is not hidden. That's the meaning. It's a negative question.
It says that the sheet is not hidden. That's what,
Sheet
right?
is not hidden. That's the meaning.
Okay.
Sheet is visible. That's the meaning. So hidden is a property which is checking for our sheet, sale sheet and purchase sheet, and this sheet is hidden or not. If it is hidden, then we will have value as true here. What does it mean? Your sheet is a hidden one in the data or in the imported file. If it is false, it means it is visible one, not a hidden one. Hidden is false. That way you have to understand. Attribute name is hidden and the value is false. What does it mean? What does it mean?
There is no hidden data.
This sheet is not hidden. That's the meaning. This is like only row wise. Sorry, sheet wise. Sale sheet, hidden false. Purchase sheet, hidden false. That's all. It's straightforward.
ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
And I'm going to navigation step, second step. In the second step, what at this particular point of time, while this step got applied on my data, what happened? Only data got extracted. 8 rows data. My sheet containing only 8 rows data, including header. Entire data extracted. But Power Query not yet identified header, which is header row and which is and which all are rows or data rows. Only data extraction happened here. Navigation nothing but navigator window. What navigator window will perform guys? It allows us to select the specific sheets which are available under a imported file. As soon as you select that specific sheet, then it will extract the data and show you at the right side, right? That's the action of navigator window. The same thing during navigation step, we were not having our header row identified and data rows distinguished. So that's why it is showing all 8 rows and it has given column names like column 1, column 2, column 3 till column 6. Okay, see here, that's why we are seeing at the left side bottom 6 columns and 8 rows. And after that, Power Query Editor did applied one more step saying identifying header row and identifying data rows. So that is promoted header step. So see the difference guys. During navigation step, we are having column names, column 1, column 2, like that. As soon as the promoted header step is completed, actual header columns are considered here. Guys, clear?
Yeah. Promoted header. How did you? From where did you select to apply?
We haven't selected, we haven't applied that one explicitly. Power Query Editor itself applied all these steps.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. On top of these steps, in continuation to these steps, we can apply our own custom transformations, and each transformation will have a step entry added here, one by one. Okay.
Okay. So change type is what we manually applied.
We haven't applied anything.
The change type also we
Change type
haven't applied.
also, yeah, this is a default step applied by Power Query Editor
Okay. Okay.
during loading option itself. So
Okay.
before change type step, we are saying all columns data is considered as alphanumeric one. That's why it has labeled all columns as ABC123, ABC123. After scanning each column data, it has applied change type, and now the label of each column changed to respective the data which is available in that column. So serial number column is numeric one. That's why it has labeled as 123. Date column as a calendar label. Product column as ABC label. All numeric columns are labeled with 123, 123, 123. Clear, guys?
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
So always remember, whenever we load our data, either through Power BI desktop get source option or Power Query editor get source option, we will have that particular sheets loaded at the left side this way under query section. When we select that query section, the right side will be the area which will be displaying all the details about that query. So these are the things, right side rightmost section like query settings contains what is the name of our query and what are the steps that are applied on the data of that particular sheet. And this is data section. And this left side label will show us how many columns are available in your data and how many rows are there. But carefully notice this particular statement, guys. Read out this statement if you are able to view this. The font size is visible for you.
Column profiling based on top 1000 rows.
Yes, perfect. So this profiling, nothing but what is the profiling happened? Identifying column label, that is nothing but column header, and identifying the data, kind of data that is available inside that column, and assigning respective label. Okay, all these things are called as column profiling. Right now my sheet data containing only 7 rows of data, but if imported file containing more than 1000 rows, let's suppose 10,000 rows, then profiling will be applied only top 1000 rows. It will visit only top 1000 rows to understand which particular row is your header row and which particular rest of the rows are data rows, and it will visit only top 1000 rows of your data. In each column it will visit and understand what kind of data can be stored in this particular column and what label that I can assign. Why this profiling is required, guys? This profiling is required under data field section right side. As soon as we close and apply this will be loaded under data view. Under data section at the rightmost side in the Power View pane will be having all these column names added. Whatever columns profiled with numeric label, those will be having the sigma symbol, right, which are used in the calculation part. Whatever columns that are labeled with this text characteristics, those can be used for labeling purpose, showing which product is having the product names on the column bars. Even date also same thing. Okay, this way Power BI trying to understand, scan your data and trying to understand and profile the data. Even though if you do not provide anything, by looking at the data, it is profiling our data. Clear, guys? Everyone?
Yes.
See, we are simply calling this one as Power Query Editor, but really it is having lots of power inside. It is able to deal with data perfectly. Okay, it is having such ability. Okay, so try to understand, guys. Left side we will be having all the queries. Queries nothing but individual sheets that we have imported. As soon as we select any sheet at the left side, that will display the properties of that sheet including data, and we will be able to see all the steps that are applied so far on the particular sheet data. Okay, clear, guys?
Yes.
Yes, give me a moment. అయ్యమ్మా ఎట్లా పడినావమ్మా Sorry guys, it's playing time, right? Able to hear me? Guys, able to hear me? Yeah, thank you. Okay, so hope everyone clear with like what is column profiling here. Yeah, good. Now, see guys, notice this particular bar, the formula bar. As soon as I select any of the step, though those are default steps that are applied, as soon as I select any default step here, we are seeing a different formula listed here. If I select source step, it is giving me some kind of code saying excel.workbook, file.contents, and the path, null, comma, true. Some code. It is like some programming language code. What I told you earlier, Power Query Editor will use what kind of programming language, guys? M language, mashup language, which is internally automatically generated by Power Query Editor for each of the step. So if you want to see entire code, just click on this. You will be able to see. Or if you want to see it as a separate window, if it is having multi-line, then go to view section, choose advanced editor option. It will open that particular code in this window, this way. What it's saying, source file is this one. This is my source file. After that, sales sheet. I mean, as I have selected left side sales sheet, it is saying it is picking up sheet with the name sales, and the type of data is sheet in my Excel file. And after that, it has applied promoted headers. After that, type got changed for each of the column. Okay, so this way we can see. Clear guys? View and advanced editor can show entire code which is written by Power Query Editor to handle all these of the steps. And if you don't want to see this particular formula bar, here you are allowed with an option to select or deselect formula bar option under view section. See guys, what is the mode right now? Selection or deselect, selected or deselected?
Selected.
Selected.
As it is in selected mode, we are seeing that formula bar here. If I uncheck this, in programming language, we used to call this one as check or uncheck. If we select, then we call this one checked. If we deselect, then we call this one as unchecked. I'm unchecking this. As soon as I uncheck this, my formula bar will disappear. I'm unchecking. We are not seeing any formula bar. If you're not interested in seeing whatever the code, M language or mashup language that is being handled, but is being created in the background by Power Query Editor, then you uncheck the formula bar and continue your work. Okay. Guys, we are allowed to rename our queries. During loading our data from Excel file to Power BI desktop, whatever names of sheets that are available in the file, those were given by default. If you don't want to maintain the same name, so you just select that particular query, go to right side, under properties, simply rename purchase information like this. Purchase information. And for sales, go there and sales information. Okay. So guys, I'm having a question to you. Right now, I have selected purchase information. If I go to navigation step, what is the combination of label that is getting displayed? Right now it is 6 columns and 7 rows. If I move back to navigation step, what will be the output here? Whatever, wherever
Rows,
I'm.
rows, rows పెరుగుతాయి సార్.
Columns 8 rows will show.
What is the entire
6
label?
columns, 6 columns, 8 rows, sir. 8 rows, sir.
Perfect. 6 column and 8 rows. Because during navigation time, we are not having our data, our header row promoted as a header here. Okay, the row which is containing header information, that is not promoted as a header really. After navigation window, header got promoted. After promotion, after header got promoted, my data is scanned. Each column data scanned and type is given. Type nothing but the data type. Okay. No. Even these steps are also allowed to rename, guys. Here, select any step. If you do not understand, if you want to, you other people see, today you have worked in this project, you have created a report and you have applied few steps, you have applied few transformations, and Power Query Editor, for each of the transformation, it will apply, it will give some name to the particular step. And if you want to make these particular steps to be more descriptive for the other developers who joins after you, to understand what all of the transformations that are applied, you can rename these steps to make people understand better. Okay, clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, so far we have seen how data can be imported using Power Query Editor and how Power Query Editor will show the data, imported data, and how we can look at each step and what are the significance of each step and what exactly happening with each of the step, and how to modify the names of the queries and how to modify the names of the steps, and where to look for the data, the entire single summary kind of thing, 6 columns, 7 rows. Okay, and column profiling based on top 1000 rows. There are two options shown here. If you select that particular section, column profiling based on entire data set or column profiling based on top 1000 rows. So it is good to maintain only column profiling based on top 1000 rows, because let's suppose if I am running my retail shop business from 10 years, I'll be having more than 1 lakh sale entries available. But in any of the sale entry, what are the common thing? Serial number will be there, date will be there, product will be there, quantity, unit price, total price. Only this kind of information will be there. Then to sample our data, it's like it's like people used to say, like some saying there is, right? So to know how our rice is boiled properly or not, how many samples that we take, guys, from the rice?
1 grain.
Perfect. That's all right. Like that, it is considering only top 1000 rows to profile your data. It is expecting if top 1000 rows are having correct data, then rest of the rows will be applied with the same profiling. So instead of, let's suppose if I'm having 1 lakh rows, so my entire time, my entire processor time, my entire memory will be spent on profiling itself. Instead of actual exciting report creation, I'm spending too much time, too much processing time, too much memory here for profiling purpose, which is not required. Ideally, even top 100 rows profiling itself is enough, what I believe, if you are having clean data set. Okay. See here, guys, here our clean data plays major role. Earlier, what was our data structure, guys? I was not having product information for the repeated rows under the same date. If I have profiling this, if I have data this way, it is not the complete data. It is not the complete data. So what will be the problem, guys, here? For the profiling, it will be a problem for us for profiling, not for us. For Power Query, it will be a problem when it scans this particular column data. It contains few columns with a value and few columns with blank values. So there will be some problem for Power Query to understand what kind of data, what is possible, what are the possibilities, what kind of data that can come into this particular column. The profiling time itself, Power Query Editor will have some ambiguity here. What kind of data that can come into this particular column if you have blank data? Because inside a blank, we can insert any value, either a number or a text or a special character or a date, anything, right? So that's why maintaining clean data is good for us to import quickly and have the data profiled clearly and cleanly. Everyone clear?
Yeah.
Okay, now tell me guys, from where I have chosen new source option, from which menu option? From home menu option, I have chosen new source. Okay, and I want to have my formula bar back. Where I have to go?
File.
Mhm. I want my formula bar back.
View.
View option.
So view,
View option.
under
Enable the
this,
formula bar.
Formula.
check formula bar. Check. If I check, formula bar will appear.
Advanced editor.
Advanced editor to view entire code of all your steps. Okay, to look what are the actions carried out so far on this purchase option query, all this mashup language code. Okay, and left bottom section shows us how many columns and how many rows data that are particular sheet containing, and it is telling us column profiling happened based on how many, what is the volume that is that has considered to perform profiling. Clear everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we'll see much more interested concepts. Okay, now what I'll do, I'm having my date column, yes. Okay, so from the date column, I want to understand, I want to get a descriptive month name. Descriptive month name. Okay, so or instead, I do not know, I don't know how to use, how to split my purchase data. I want to split day, month, year. Out of this, I want to have only year column splitted separately. Year data. Only year data taken from purchase date, and that is added as a new column. And I don't know, I'm new to Power BI desktop. I do not know how to use that split function on this column and have the only year data separated as a new column. So in such cases, Power BI assists us to go with some machine learning models. I'm going to add column option. So guys, this is only example, not the entire discussion that we are doing about Power Query. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm making you people familiar with Power Query and Power Pivot and Power View slowly, step by step. Okay. So at some point of time, you will be able to correlate with each of the option which is available in this window, and which are definitely, I mean, which are important for us in during real-time projects as well. So I want to making you people, I'm making your hands dirty by visiting, by touching each and every area here, which are important for now. But when we deal with real-time examples, real-time data, then we'll be efficiently using majority of the options, and we'll be seeing which are the default transformation functions that are available, which are powerful functions that we can apply, and when to use, where to use, how to use. All these things we will learn by example, every single function. But I'm making you people how powerful our Power Query editor is. Okay, I'm making you people to understand, that's all. Clear with the expectation? Good. For now, I'm closing query setting window. If I want to have this query setting window back, I can go to view at any point of time. Under view, I can select query settings. That will open query settings for the selected query. For now, I'm deselecting. So now I'm going to add column. My requirement is pull out only year part from the purchase date column. So here what I'll choose, column from example. Column from example. You'll come to know the meaning of that particular option, column from example. So why they have named this way. So I'm selecting that. It is asking us from all columns or from only selected column. What is the column that I have selected right now? Is purchase date, which is purchase date. So from the selection, I'm selecting from selection. See guys, selected column is there, and right side I have added with a new column. And now, and now, and now, in the selected column, what I'll do, I just double clicked. What I'll simply write 2023. What I'm saying 2023. So immediately Power Query Editor intelligently try to understand, okay, user selected this column and the right side sample column in the first row, he has entered 2023. So what is the pattern that user is expecting from this selected column?
Here.
Okay, what is the pattern, guys? Tell me. What is the pattern that I have entered? I have just
Setting of that.
Why?
I have just shown Power BI Power Query Editor. From this column, I want to get only this part 2023. I'm literally telling this requirement. I'm literally telling Power Query Editor my requirement as I asked you guys how to fetch, how to pull out only year information from the purchase date as it is containing day, month, year. So I want to pull out only year part. The same way how I verbally required, I mean, how I verbally requested you people to pull out year information. Similar way, through database, through keyboard, I have just told Power Query Editor saying, from this column, I want to get data this format, 2023. So immediately Power Query Editor visited data available in the purchase date column. Okay, from this data, user asked me 2023. So it will check for the pattern. Okay, 01 not matching, 03 not matching. After hyphen 2023 matching. Okay, after last hyphen, the last 4 characters user is expecting from me. Okay, let him surprise by pulling out the similar kind of data, the same pattern, using same pattern for the rest of the columns, and show him like in this mode. If user is fine and user feel okay, done, I have my requirement is met, then he can click on OK, and then now done. For rest of the rows, whatever extracted data are accepted by user. As soon as I click on OK, what I'm giving my consent to Power Query Editor saying done. I'm accepting whatever transformation you did. It is okay. It is as per my expectation. Done. Guys, clear?
Yes, sir.
Guys, everyone clear? It is very simple thing, but you have to understand
Yes, sir.
clearly.
Yes.
Okay, we're literally telling Power Query Editor, I need output this way, guys. So I'm literally telling Power Query Editor, hey Power Query Editor, just give me data in this format. It understand, okay, user asking 2023 from this value. For the rest of the rows also, I'll pull out the same pattern and give him information this way. If he feels okay, he click on okay. Okay. As soon as he click okay, then I'll prepare that column with the same pattern. I'll add that column to his data set. That's all.
Here we have 2023 uniform across the rows. In
Yes.
case if it is different, probably 2022, 2024, then it will automatically take the relevant one.
Yes. Yes. And you
Okay.
people can try out that one and share me the screenshot. Good question. You people
Okay.
try out with different year related dates information and try out and share me the screenshot. Yes, it will do. It is not
Any reason? Any reason it is the column is not next to purchase date?
any reason. Yeah, because it is added at the end, right? It is actually all the existing
Okay.
columns are from my source, and the last column is like, which is a customized column added in the Power Query Editor, not from the source,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
That's all. No specific thing. Okay. So now, tell me, guys, if I choose where to, which option I have to select now to see the query setting option, where I have to go. Tell me, guys, where I have to go.
View section.
View section, query setting option. Now, see, guys, are we seeing any additional step added here for purchase information in the applied steps window? Are we seeing any
So
additional
white
step
space.
added? Yes,
Yes.
one more step.
Inserted here.
Yes.
Inserted here. Inserted here. And what is the formula showing? It is table add column as year, and for each date of purchase date, for each row of purchase date, perform some transformation and give me the result. Clear? Whenever you do any single transformation or apply any formula using transform menu, then a step will be added here. Every single action that we perform, every single transform action that we perform on our data will be recorded as a step. Remember this. what we did, guys, I'm just, so you don't want this column, you simply go to your steps. Right now we are seeing year column with the extracted year information. You simply delete this, delete this step. See guys, as soon as I delete this step, I'll not have my year column available with my data. See guys, you can remove using this option. As soon as I focus, the delete option is getting highlighted. I'm choosing that. See guys, are we seeing year column here?
No.
Perfect. Now tell me guys, again if I want to add year column without knowing any function, any transform function, I want to tell Power Query Editor a pattern, and Power Query Editor will understand that pattern and gives me the result for rest of the rows. I'll tell Power Query Editor only pattern for first row, and Power Query Editor will understand my pattern. Power Query Editor will understand my request through that pattern and give me the results for other rows for the selected column. Where I have to go?
Add column,
Perfect.
and under that column from examples,
Column from examples. From
wherein you have option from all or only selection.
selection.
Here in this case, we have selected selection.
Okay. I did purchase date selection. I'm going and from selection. This time what I'll do, I'll simply say, see what are the possible options that we can perform here. It is showing all this by default. But if you have anything in your mind specifically, then what I'll say, it is saying for the first row, these all are the possible values. What it's saying? Purchase date is 1/3/2023 and current date, it is saying current date is 22 days age from the purchase date. What is current date, guys?
23.
23 March, and my purchase date is 1st March. What is the age? Age nothing but difference between your purchase date and current date. What is the age? 22 days. That is saying age from purchase date. Okay. So now what I want to do, say Wednesday, day of week name from purchase date. From this purchase date, March 1st is Wednesday, it is saying. Let's check. Go to calendar. What is March 1st, guys?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Wednesday. So it is giving me few suggestions, but if you have anything in your mind, you can apply that pattern. But if you do not have any such thing, you can choose any of the pattern which are suggested by Power Query Editor itself. What I'll say, I'll select Wednesday. Now tell me, for rest of rows, what will be the output, guys?
The relevant Wednesday, Thursday, second is Thursday.
The relevant week name, depending on the purchase date.
Purchase it.
I'm selecting Wednesday. I'm clicking enter. It is showing Wednesday, 1st March, Wednesday, 1st March, Wednesday, 2nd March, Thursday, 2nd March, Thursday, and all are 3rd March entries, Friday, Friday, Friday. As soon as I click OK, I'm giving my consent saying done. Whatever transformation you did, perfect. I'm accepting. As soon as I click OK, we are giving our consent to Power Query Editor. Yes, whatever suggested formula is good for me. As soon as you click on OK, this day name column will be part of our data. Clear, guys? See,
Yes.
internally it has applied this formula, date dot date of week name. From the purchase date, it is pulling week number, week. For that week number, it is giving day of week name. I'm clicking OK. Day name added. See guys, how intelligent it is. It is even, Power Query Editor even named my column perfectly. What is the name of the new column?
Day name.
That's all. Because it is containing day name only, right? Name of the day from the purchase date. Clear, guys? So Power Query is this much powerful, guys. Okay. There are a lot many things to learn with the Power Query, but the actions that we perform are all these things only. Like we'll import data, we'll select our queries, and we can change our settings. We can visit through each step, and we can understand formula. If you want to see entire script, go to view section. Open advanced editor, you can see entire section. If you don't know the formula bar, deselect that, or if you need any new column added, go to add column. And already split related action we have already seen. Split we have already seen, and even fill option also we have seen, like as a one sample by choosing one of the transformation function from transform tab and adding a new column through machine learning model kind of thing. From the selected column, we will give one input, it will understand that, and it will suggest value for rest of the rows, and we'll accept that, and that particular column will be part of our data set going forward. Okay, clear guys? And here also, this is also one of the important thing. 6 columns, 7 rows, the summary of our data, and column profiling happened on what? Top 1000 rows. And we are also allowed to perform column profiling on entire data set as well. Clear guys?
Yes.
Everyone clear? If
Yes, sir.
everyone clear, I'll ask one question. What is column profiling? So these 3 steps you can talk about. Column profiling nothing but while importing our data, Power BI treats all the rows from our data as data rows. After that, it will identify header row and it will promote that one as a header. After that, it will visit each column data and understand what kind of data, like numeric, text, date, what kind of data that is being stored in that column, and it will assign respective label. Now tell me, what is column profiling?
So after promoting header, it will change according to the data what it contains and gives the name. I mean data types automatically. Then it
Labels. It will label, basically. It will label our data. Now, if I want to load this data to my data view, which is nothing but Power Pivot, what action I need to apply? What is the next step? Simply go to Home tab, close and apply. We have discussed about this in session 1 or session 2, I think. Clear guys?
yes.
As soon as I click on close and apply, that will be loaded into my data view. Give Power BI desktop a moment. It will load the data. See, loading data. So guys, we are treating you people as like everyone as a beginner, guys. We are not considering anyone as an experienced person. So our training is it is targeted to provide information to everyone. I mean, everyone who is there in the class, by treating one as a beginner. So we will be discussing things in detail, but we will not spend too much time around any concept, but we will be touching every single feature which is available here. Okay. So be regular and be on time. And also remember, when I say explicitly there is no session on a specific day, then we will not have any session. If I do not mention that thing, then we will be having our session regularly at 6 p.m. We will be having Power BI session regularly at 6 p.m. every day. Okay. See, I'm going to data view. See guys, right side, whatever names we have given on Power Query Editor, purchase information, sales information, with the same names, we are having our data and data view. And now, one important thing, go to data view. Data view will contain 2 entities, purchase information, sale information along with these attributes. And there is a relation created between purchase and sale information. If I select that relation, what is that relation, guys? Right,
Sales table and the
yeah,
purchasing.
right now it is treating serial number as a, see, as soon as I focus on that relation, it is selecting serial number in both the sections. As soon as I focus, it is selecting serial number, highlighting serial number in both the entities. See guys, serial number selected, but this is not the actual relation. What is the actual relation, guys? I have right clicked on that relation link. I have deleted. Right click and deleted. What is the actual relation, guys? Between
Serial
products,
number, serial number.
between products,
Product.
right?
products.
Just select product from one particular entity and drop it on the other entity. Then a relation will be created between these two based on product. As soon as I focus on this relation, it is highlighting product in both of the entities. Okay. So right now it is not our concept to be discussed, but I'm just showing as we have loaded multiple sheets data. Okay. Clear, guys? Everyone clear?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Fine, guys. Then we'll meet at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Okay. If you
Thank
have
you,
any
sir.
queries, let me know. If you do not have any queries, then wait for the video uploaded in our Google Drive. Okay. Fine, guys. Thank you all. Meet you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.